Hey tech team, just wanted to make a quick video to show you how to get your station ready. This video is going to be specifically for the lighting, which is done by both the lyric person and then also the lighting. So that's all kind of brought together in the visual tech position here at Grace Sugarcreek. So I want to show you how to get your lighting set up, all set to go. Practice starts at 4 p.m. On Saturdays, so this will help so you can get here a little early, get everything ready to go. Double check everything. Maybe I'm not here, or Rocky may not be here. So hopefully this will serve you well to help you when you need to get your station ready. So this station is operated by two computers. This one, which is a Mac Mini, and then this monitor is for the lights, and then this one, which is just an iMac, is for the slides on the TV. So we're going to be looking at just this computer. So if the computer isn't already turned on when you get here, you can tell by there's a white light that should be on. If it's not, the power button is just in the back here. You press it once and that white light should come on, and then the monitor should come on as well. If that doesn't, the power button is right here. It'll turn a different color when it's on. So right now it's already on, so I'm just going to wake the computer up by pressing the space bar, and there we go. When you come on here, sometimes it will be to this screen. You always want to go to lighting team. You're never going to have to go to Tech Grace. You want to go to lighting team. And all the passwords for both computers are volunteer and then the number 1, all lowercase, no spaces. So we will log in, and you should come to just this home page, and you're going to want to open up Vista. Vista is the lighting program that we use here, and that's this application right down here. The V should be down there. It's like the only application we really use on this computer. So you're going to want to open it up. And once it opens up, you're going to wait until you get this menu. And here it's basically asking you want to open up a new show, or do you want to go to a backup? And we want to go to the backup because where the backup is where all the saved settings for all of these lights in here, it's all programmed into here in this backup. So you want to press this really long labeled auto backup for Grace Master Lights Sugarcreek. So press that, and comes to this screen. You may have some lists up here. These are all from past weeks. You might have at least one. I'm going to go ahead and exit out some of these older ones, but leave a couple there. If Rocky or I prepared a list already for you, we would label it and let you know. It's probably going to most likely be labeled for the week that you're doing this, or the day that you're doing this, but there isn't one made, so we're going to make a new one from scratch. And so the first thing we need to do is go up here and click new, and that's going to make a whole new list number 20. You see a queue over here just loaded up, but nothing over here is white and nothing is lit up, meaning none of these lights are active yet on this program. In order to get these lights on here off of the control switch on the wall over there to be only controlled by this program, you need to come down here and hold the mouse and select all of these. So I just held down the mouse and it created this thing. So I highlighted all of those and turn those completely on by pressing this button over here, which turns on the intensity, which is the brightness of all of these. These 4 down here are the LED fixture power. This is what provides power from my office right over there. There's an interface in there, or a power supply in there, that will power all these supplies, and then it will also make so that you only are able to control all of the lights in here by this program, no longer on that wall control switch. So when I turn it on, I should hear a click in that office, which will bring power to all of this. And so you'll see her to click out there. This lit up and you see the lights are going crazy. That means that it's all responding. Now all the house lights went down because it's only controlled on here. And there's nothing that is lit up on here other than the fixture power. These need to stay on the whole time. They should never go off while you're using the program. Okay, so the very first cue is going to be pre-service. So we're going to go ahead and label it pre-service. Hit enter, and then you can also double click this 2S. That means 2 seconds. We always go with 5 seconds for all of them. 5 and then enter. And now this is the pre-service. Now I obviously need to get these lights working as if it's the pre-service. So the next thing I need to do is press link. And what this is going to do is when I press link, any changes I make on here, it's going to link and basically sync real time. It's saying I want to see the changes I'm making real time on these lights here. At least I believe that's what I was told, I think, in the tutorial that I watched. But so the first thing I want to do is obviously bring the house lights up, and you can see the house lights are labeled here. I want to bring all of these up because we don't want people walking here in the dark. So you can click and drag this, and this will bring the brightness up slowly. You can find a brightness that's suitable for people walking in. You don't want to bring it all the way up here. You see I have about, a little below the start of the eye in intensity here. But we don't want it too bright, but bright enough for people to see where they're going. And then the other thing we usually do for the pre-service is we bring these, what's labeled here as downstage down lights, and then you can't really see this other row. Basically, these 2 rows are the light bars up on stage that shine directly down on the people. And so I just want this in the white color over here. Maybe that will, there we go. You can see the little box here I drag in the white, and I just want it up a little bit. That way when we as a band get up on stage, we can see just a little tiny bit and see where our cables are and stuff. And that's the pre-service cue that we have here. So next, most likely in the service, there's going to be a welcome, or it's going to be a song. Most likely it's a welcome by Chad. So to add a new cue, we just go to plus here, and you see another cue is added, and we're going to name it welcome, as if Chad was going to go up and do a welcome to start the service off, and we're going to label that 5 for 5 seconds as well. Oop, I zoomed in. Sometimes if you zoom up and down, it'll zoom in up on the page here. So just be aware of that. So right when the welcome starts, we want to keep the house lights where they're at, just because, sometimes he's going to make people greet each other and whatnot. The only thing we really want to change is we want Chad to be lit up so that people can see him when he's up on stage, so he's not in the dark. And in order to do that, we're going to use these par cans, which are that row up there. You can see right where my finger is. It's right there. All of those, we're going to bring them and highlight all of them. Make sure it's in the white, because we don't want Chad to be a colored a weird color. We just want him to be white. And we're just going to bring the intensity up, and you can see what that did. It's basically shining down white light so that when Chad is talking, he can be lit. And so that's the welcome. That's the only change for the welcome. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to add a song. Okay, so usually after the welcome, there's a song, and you'll see all of the order of service over here in this planning center. But we're going to add a song. Let's say the song is Great Things, and it's going to be 5 seconds. So this is the first, drastic change. We want to bring the house lights down. You want to bring them down so that you can still see that they're on just a little tiny bit, but that they're so that they're not completely off. but that they're still on just a little bit. And you can see that, you know, they are still on just a little bit, but not completely. And the other change we want to do, we want to make these lights, which is the white light that was shining, that was this row here that is shining down on Chad when he was welcoming. We want to make this a color now, because during worship, you know, it's cool to change colors from song to song. And so you can come over here where we originally just had it in white for Chad. Let's see if that will illuminate better. There we go. We can change the color. I like for the first song to do something a little more subtle, like a yellow. And you can see that it's, you know, yellow up there. It's not going to be like red or a drastic, like big dark blue or something like that. And the very last thing we want to do is we want the band members up on stage to be lit up. Right now they're just going to be the color yellow, because we only have all of these light bars only up a little tiny bit in white. So now we just want to take the intensity of that and we want to go up. And you can see that those rows are lit up now a little bit more. And so now we've got, it's still yellow a little bit, but we still have the actual people, we have the ability to make them white so that we can somewhat see who they are, and they're not just going to be little minions or whatever color you want to make them, Smurfs if it's blue. So that's the first song, you know, and I'm not going to make a whole set list, but usually we do 4 songs, and say I make another song here and relabel it to This Is Amazing Grace 5. All I have to do is take this and change the color. So let's say for This Is Amazing Grace, I want to make it more of a blue. And so now when I go from Great Things, which was yellow, you can see the stage is turning yellow. We just finished Great Things. I want to go to This Is Amazing Grace. Now it's going to change a blue. So the only thing changing from song to song is the color of the stage. The white lights on the light bars are staying the same. The only thing that's changing is this. So out of worship, we're going to have usually, you know, there's going to be Chad coming up to pray. You're going to leave the last song cue on while he's praying. But when he's done praying and goes into his message and announcements he might make after that, you're going to make another cue for his message. And I'm just going to quick label that message. The only thing, a couple things we're going to change. We're going to make these, which is what's making the stage blue right now. We're going to change this back to white over here. That way Chad is not a Smurf when he's talking. And then we're also going to bring up the house lights. Now the house lights during the message are not going to be as bright as what was for the pre-service. We don't want it to be such a shock when the lights come back on, but we do want it to be bright enough that you can look down and you can take notes and you can read your Bible. So we want there to be still some, you know, we don't want it to be as bright as when they walked in pre-service, but we want it to be bright enough that you can read your Bible. So try to find that balance, and maybe pay attention to that other weekends when this might be set for you or whatever by Rocky or I. And so the message, and then, you know, the last element, I'm not going to add it, but is going to be the post-service. So after Chad prays, then you can bring the lights and everything back up to like what it was for the pre-service. Now, you know, there could be special elements like a video. For videos, we want to bring the house lights down like it was in worship, and we want everything else down. The only thing that should be up would be just a teeny tiny bit of the house lights, like it is for the worship. That way you can just see the screen. All attention would be on the screens for the video. And then any other elements that might be in the service. If you have a question like what should I, if it's a special element like communion or whatever, and you don't know what you should do, ask the worship leader if they can explain what kind of lighting they would want. Then you should have the ability to make that happen on here now that you've seen this. So once you're done with that, getting your cue list all set, you want to save it. So you're going to press on the keyboard Command, which is here, and then S, so Command S. and you're going to see the current list that's pulled up, 20 list, which is up here, and you're going to press OK. You also have the ability to go in and save it and rename it. So save as, let me see here. You would go to queue list properties and then you would rename it. But as long as you know the number you're on. So that's saved. And then the very last thing you're going to do is you're going to go into this button up here. So this is a different viewer. This is for when you're editing up here, the fixture chooser, but I want to go over to console. This replicates what the controller is. And so what we want to do is we want to be able to control from queue to queue with the touch of this button that's labeled next up here. And so all we need to do is we need to go to list 20, which is check marked because it's the current one pulled up. We're going to click and drag it all the way over to this box, and we're going to release it. And so now you can see it's currently in the message queue. Like over here, it's in the message queue. So it corresponds over here. It's in the message queue. So all I need to do is press this next button, and it's going to click and go to the start of the queue list and the pre-service. Now I like to go back here and I like to operate from this view and click next, and it will still, you know, go to all of those different ones from this view. I just like that just because if I need to do something quick and change, I still have that ability on this screen as I'm doing the slides. One quick note to make sure when you come in, one of the things that could happen when you come in, you start up the program and it's running, and another thing you want to make sure as the program is up and going, before you start making any of these queues, you want to make sure this controller is lit up. Sometimes you start the program and the controller is not lit up. You see these buttons are lit up. It's not lit up. You need to make sure that it is lit up. And the easiest thing, all you have to do if it's not lit when you start the program, is unplug this USB, this gray cable back here, unplug it and plug it back in while the program's still up and going, and it should light up, and then you should be able to continue on. One thing then after the service to do, a couple things you want to do as you know, people are leaving. Obviously, some people stay in this auditorium to talk and whatnot, but once people are out, or maybe you got 5 people, just tell them, hey, lights are about to go out. We're not kicking you out. You can move out to the lobby. Not a big deal. But the first thing you want to do on here, you want to, once again, save your everything on here. But then you want to go up to release. And what this is going to do is it's going to just take anything that's powered right now, anything that has light, and it's just going to bring it down to 0 brightness. You'll see that everything went off. Even the LED fixture power went off. So once that's done, we're going to command save again. And now you're free to quit the program Vista. So we're going to go to quit Vista. Yes. So now that that is quit and all of it's released, now we can go over here to the wall light switch and turn the lights back on. And now the main lights in the auditorium will be controlled all by that light switch over there. But other than that, you shouldn't have any problems. I hope this video was helpful. I tried to make it as short as possible. There's just some certain procedures you have to follow in order to get this done. So hope this is helpful.